Hello, and welcome to a word of hope for Thursday of the 16th week in Ordinary Time. I'm Father Jim Marchanda, and I'm coming to you once again from Puerto Rico, where I am working this week. I was in the south of the island yesterday in Yauco, and I'm working today in Bayamón in the north. Today we have a powerful reading from the prophet Jeremiah. Listen to these words of God through Jeremiah to the people. I remember the devotion of your youth, how you loved me, following me in the desert, and sacred to the Lord was Israel. Beautiful, isn't that? But then by the end of the reading, he says, you entered the land I gave you. You defiled my land. You made my heritage loathsome. The priests did not ask, where is the Lord? And finally, toward the end, he said, be amazed at this, O heavens, and shudder with sheer horror, says the Lord. What we are hearing in this reading from the prophet Jeremiah is God's heartbreak over his people. It's very sad to think about God being heartbroken over us, isn't it? And I don't think so much about God being heartbroken over us as individuals, as much as God's being heartbroken over us as a people, as a society, as a nation, as a generation. Today, the reading challenges us to deal with God's heartbreak over us. I remember once, many years ago, I was attending an evangelization retreat at the cathedral in Chicago, the Cathedral of the Holy Name, when Cardinal Joseph Bernardin was still alive. There were 1,000+ of us in the cathedral for the evening presentation in which the preacher talked about God's weeping over the things that happen in our world. And so as to properly give us an image of that, he recalled Luke chapter 19, where Jesus, before his passion, enters the city of Jerusalem. But before it, he sits on the hilltop, overlooks Jerusalem, and the Gospel of Luke says Jesus wept over their rejection of peace. My friends, this reading from Jeremiah reminds us that Jesus is weeping today, and that through Jesus, God is weeping today over some of the terrible things happening in our society and in our world. When I think of the recent mass killings in the United States, I think God can be doing nothing but crying with all those families who have lost members of their loved ones. Let us today use this word of hope to fire ourselves up, to write our Congress people, to write whoever we need to in the government and ask for common sense gun control legislation, to ask for a removal and a ban of assault weapons on our streets. There is no reason for them in the United States of America. Many people today are weeping because of some of our failure as a society and as a government to do what we must. And today's reading tells us God too is weeping with us. Let us use this as a motivation to act, and let our action and our voices be our hope. God bless you.